Hello again. So the other hardware we have is the new CD DVD driver. Here you can choose between using the physical driver or an ISO image. If you remember through the installation, we chose to use the ISO image or the CD driver, or we chose later. And here you can configure to connect this machine to an DVD driver is the one that you use in this laptop, or you can choose an ISO image and you can choose the different ISO image we have in our home lab. And of course, we simply leave it like that. Of course, we have some advanced option if you want to choose the IDE or the SCSI or the SATA. If you have different DVD driver, you can choose between them the different connector to connect your DVD driver. Then we have another important information is the network adapter. That means the virtual adapter that we're going to use in this virtual machine. Of course, any virtual machine we're going to create it, we need to have a connection between this machine and the other network that we have. In our lab, we need to create a different ESXi server. We need to have a connection between those virtual server and the vCenter, etc., and the browser to manage those server. So in the NAT, I always recommended to use the bridge and the NAT. And also we have some other option, but let's take a quick overview about every one. If you remember, when I show you my home lab that I use, I tell you that I use two laptop and a router that lets me connect to the internet. The router automatically provide an IP address. Like that, let me help you to understand more. So, as I tell you in the previous uh, diagram about my home lab is that I use a router. That router have an IP of number 1 and my laptop connect directly to this router, and this router provide the IP address for the different laptop. For example, laptop number 1 will get an IP of 192.168.1, for example 2. My laptop number 2 will have an IP of 192.168.1.3, like that. And for that, if you remember, I show you that the I will going to use the laptop number 1 or maybe the laptop number 2 to connect to the different virtual machine. That means if I going to use my laptop this one and connect to the different virtual machine, I prefer to choose the IP address of the virtual machine with the same network ID. That means if we want to create a VM number 1, I want to give it an IP of 192.168.1, for example, 5. Another VM2 with the same network ID, for example, 6, etc. and 6, 7, 9, 8, etc. For that, I want to get a automatic IP to this virtual machine. To do that, we need to configure the network adapter to use the bridge. If you see here, bridge connect directly to the physical network. That means this machine will connect to the router and get the IP address from the router. So router will automatically give it a 192.168.1 and a number available from this network ID. So doing that will help me to have a connection between laptop 1 and laptop 2 and virtual machine 1, virtual machine 2, virtual machine 3, etc. So for example, if you have a VM, for example 10 with the IP 9.168.35.6, you will have an issue about having a ping between this laptop or laptop 2 or the VM1, the VM2 with the VM10. That means this VM is another network. This is in another network ID. The ID right here is 192.168.35. This is the ID of this machine. But here, the ID right here is the 192.168.1, and this is the ID of the network number one, and this is the ID of the network number two. And you need to have a GATT UI between this network and this network, and that will make it more complicated and more confused and will be a little distracted to concentrate on which VM you use, etc. So to make it simply, I always chose the bridge and give all the virtual machine to have the same network ID. This is the same network ID between all the different machine. Of course, in relation about your router, some router have right here 0 and some have 1. So by choosing the bridge, all the virtual machine and the laptop and the desktop that you have will have the same network ID. So you will not have any problem about the connection between the different virtual machine and the different physical hosts that you have. But in another case, for example, you have only one machine. For example, you have a desktop with, for example, 13 gigabytes of RAM. That means you don't need to have two uh, desktop or laptop. Also, you don't have a router. That means your laptop or desktop that you use to create your home lab does not have any connection with an external router or internet, etc. So you need to create your own network. So for that, the most recommended is to use the NAT.